The other day I took my camera out and I had forgotten one piece of essential kit that every landscape photographer seems to take with them. But I found the whole experience quite liberating. So I thought today we'd take a short walk to Bully Beach and try the experiment again. Okay, so what is this mystery piece of equipment that every landscape photographer, bar one that I know of, always has with them? It's a tripod. So what I'm wondering is, without a tripod, can I be a little bit more versatile with my compositions, because I don't have to worry where the tripod is actually going to be. So I'm going to explore the beach and take you with me and see what we can find. Of course, without a tripod you can just spot something and take a shot. There's some amazing markings in the sand here. So I'm just going to get down and see if I can get a shot of these as well. Basically, setting up any shot is just so much easier and quicker if you're not worried about a tripod and the angle, the height. You can just crouch down and take what you want, or stand up. I think it's actually enabling me to pick out more intimate scenes at the beach rather than sort of wider shots. So anyway, interesting experiment so far. Oh, I've just noticed these sandworm casts here. Brilliant. I wonder if I can get a really good shot of this. Lights in the amazing direction. Absolutely perfect. It's amazing. You can easily become almost obsessed with the detail on the beach without a tripod. I don't know if that's the same for other people, but it certainly seems to be the case for me. So let's carry on with our mooch round and see what else we can find. This is another one of those compositions where height of camera is very important. Problem I've got is I've got a big expanse of sand just beyond the rocks there, which I'd like to reduce. But further beyond, if I go down lower with the camera, the rocks beyond are just going to merge into each other. So I might just actually exclude these rocks altogether and try something over here. Yeah, I think that might actually work a little bit better. Let's see what we've got here. Might just sort of move a little bit to the right. No. How about to the left? Move a little bit to the left. Got the clouds as well there. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Okay, I'm just sort of searching for a suitable subject where I can try some longer exposure shots. and capture the movement of the water rather than freezing the movement of the water. But of course the tide's going out and the opportunities are becoming less and less on this beach, mainly because the rocks tend to be near the high water mark as opposed to low water. So as the tide goes out here, more and more sand appears, make it a little bit more difficult to find an appropriate composition. Anyway, we'll keep searching. I've just put a ND64 filter on, neutral density filter, so hopefully I'll be able to adjust camera settings so I can get about the 15th of a second, something like that. I'm not really too sure how this is going to work out. I'm really out of my comfort zone here, because with the tripod it's dead easy, you know, you can take your time and sort it out. But I haven't got a tripod, so here we go. I think because I'm not having to set up a tripod every time, I'm actually able to be much more free with my shots and compositions, and take time to actually look at the detail. You know, these little mussels here and seaweed, the sandflies flying all over them. Some quite interesting patterns and shapes that are worth taking a photograph of. And you can get really quite close. Quite interesting. Sort of thing that you might miss normally on the beach. You might be just sort of looking for bigger compositions, bigger shapes, bigger textures. Yeah, I'm really quite impressed so far. Still worried about those long exposures, quarter of a second. Mind you, with modern cameras, I mean, this is a Sony Alpha 7 R4. It's got 5.5 stops of stabilization in camera, and the lens itself, which is a FE4 24-105 Sony lens, has also got image stabilization, so I should be able to take quite long exposures with that handheld. I've just spotted something else over there which I think I'll try and get a shot of before I leave. So I've got this little cave at the end of a small beach which is only exposed at very low tide, like today. It's got a rock as a good strong foreground. It's quite incredible, this actually, because as the tide comes in, of course the water level rises and starts rushing into the cave, and as you approach high tide you can be on the rocks up there and hear the thump of the waves crashing into the cave. There's even a little bit of vibration on a really heavy swell. So anyway, let's see what we can do with this. I've attempted a bit of a focus stack there. Not sure if it's going to work out, but be interesting to see what the results are. Anyway, I'm going to head back now and pop the photos on the computer. So in a minute, I shall post up some of the photos and have a little commentary of what I think about those photos and whether or not this experiment this morning has been successful. So let's get back there and have a look at the photographs. So I'm back home now and I've got the photos on the computer for us to have a quick look at. I've got 3 long exposure shots and the focus stack that I did. First of all, the long exposure shots, I think on the whole haven't been too bad. I could have done better, but they haven't been too bad. The 10th of a second, as you can see, has got some nice movement in the water and the rocks are reasonably sharp. The 1/8 of a second shot I'm particularly pleased with because the rocks are nice and sharp, not super sharp, but they're sharp enough, and there's plenty of movement within the water. However, with the 3rd shot, the 1/4 of a second shot, I'm a bit disappointed because in the past I have done better. The rocks are not sharp at all, and yeah, not a success. However, the focus stack I am particularly pleased with because this was handheld and comprised 2 shots at, I think it was f9.5, and the rocks at the bottom of the frame there, they're nice and sharp. The main rock in the center there is nice and sharp, and the detail in the pebbles nice and sharp all the way to the back of the rocks here. So I'm particularly pleased with that one. Anyway, that's it for now. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, bye.